Hey y'all, it's y'all favorite cozy girl, Chi the Reality Queen, and I am back again with another episode of Robe Chronicles. Tonight, we're talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 7. And thankfully, the girls are back from raggedy ass North Carolina. And not saying that North Carolina as a state is raggedy, but that trip was. I mean, them on the trip was actually pretty cool, but I feel like Mia she just didn't plan a good trip. It just wasn't good. I feel like they could have done more things, and standing around the joint chiropractic that she didn't own was actually very, very strange. But anyways, so it's 7 days till Karen's court case. We see Stacy and TJ in her new little crash pad. Um, and to mark the occasion, they decide to have a little paint and sip type date. But TJ doesn't sip liquor. So they're just painting, which is okay. I don't think TJ's beliefs are bad. I like them. I think, you have to stand for something. You have to, you know, whatever that belief is, right? I appreciate it. But I feel like his behavior towards Stacy in regards to those beliefs are weird. Like almost like he's judging her for wanting to drink or wanting to be intimate, or it's kind of weird because when they were painting she was like, oh, whoever like has the best painting will get a prize or something like that. And he was like, and she's like, what do you want? And he's like, oh, I want to go work out or like go to the gym or something. And she was like, oh. And then he's like, what about you? And then she's like, oh, I want to give you like a spa day or like a massage or something. And he like looks at her funny, and it's like, and she's like, I'm just flirting with you. And I'm like, why does she have to tell you that? Like, why can't she even, like, she wasn't even talking about having literal sex, but just being intimate with someone that you're dating or talking to. He's acting like she asked him to have sex. And it was just like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if maybe these are two people who are really good friends, and because his career isn't maybe doing so well, she offered him like as a love interest for the show, cuz that's what it's kind of given. Like, hey, let me help you out cuz you'd help me out if you got something. I don't know. It just cuz it don't really make sense. It's very very weird and awkward, and I don't like how he's nice to her. I'm not saying he's not nice, but like he kind of treat her like she boo boo the fool when it comes to, or like when she tries to be flirty or whatever. And I think that's whack. It's like it's weird. Um and again, I know a lot of people are making the claim that he's gay or this or that, and I can see it. Now, while I can see it, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that he's gay. I don't want to, I don't want to make that assumption. Um, but he does have a behavior that doesn't align with a man who likes women. And that isn't to say that he likes men. He might even be asexual, right? He might just not be interested in having sexual relations with anybody. But again, the way it was mentioned and brought up was like he was doing that with somebody in the past or at some point, because she keeps saying he's celibate. She's not saying he's a virgin. Maybe she doesn't want to put him out like that, but it sounds like he's done the do before. Um, But yeah, another thing that was weird to me is that he wears watches on both wrists, I think. Maybe one is like a workout, like heart rate type monitor or something. But I was like, what's on his wrist? Like I wasn't paying that close attention, but I was just kind of like, wait, what? Um, and then she, they start talking and she's like, oh, all the girls were like laughing at me and saying they don't believe that you're celibate and that you're running game on me or something like that. She's like, Giselle was like really cackling and like laughing. And he was like, they're not making fun of me and you, they're making fun of God. That's why people don't believe it, because you say stuff like that. Like it just doesn't sound correct. Being celibate is not a problem. I think he's, like I said, he has the right to make that decision. Stacy has the right to go along with it. You know, they have the right to be in whatever type of relationship that they want to be in. However, when you go on television, the scrutiny will come. And here I am, the scrutiny. So, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me. But I'm gonna leave them alone. That truth will come out, because that's the wonderful thing about reality TV, right? Like, you can't hide what's there, I guess, because now people are watching you very closely, right? That I think that's the reason why so many people go on reality TV and get a divorce, because whatever secrets they were trying to hide before, you can't hide them when, one, there's a camera on your life, and anybody who knows you, has dealt with you, has interacted with you. Some of those people are bad people, and they can't wait to expose you for whatever thing they know about you. There are some people who cannot wait to tell anybody with ears. So I'm sure it'll come. She's just new, so it's gonna take a second, but it'll come. Um, Now, Ashley and Giselle are meeting up because they're trying to meet with Karen to check in with her. And Ashley's talking about drinking olive oil and lemon, and that sounds, olive oil and lemon water, or olive oil and lemonade. I don't know, but water and oil don't mix, so seems like a very weird combination. Why would you even put them together? Because they don't mix, and it would just, I don't know. Very strange. She said that she's trying to get her mom on it because her mom has like a heart blockage and she wants her to be healthy. One thing about Ashley is she really does care about her mama. I think all of them, care about their family at least, if nothing else, right? No matter how messy they are, Ashley cares about her mama. Different. Giselle's messy, but she cares about her kids. So it's good to know that even evil people have a heart sometimes. Anyways, Karen makes it over and she talks about how she was disappointed in Mia for lying because she has her own addiction, and she went to rehab and all this stuff, and she's scared about what's to come, but she's just very hopeful of the result. And I don't know, I don't think anybody told me, and obviously Google exists and I can go check, but I want someone to tell me in the comments what happened with Karen's court case, because this is May. So, and it's right around her birthday too, so, or after, or whatever. So I need Karen to tell us, I need someone to tell me what happened. Put it in the comments. Did Karen get convicted of whatever charges were being pressed against her? I don't know. Anyways, Ashley's talking about, oh, everybody cares about you. That's why they're talking about, asking. And Karen just kind of isn't buying it on the Mia and uh Jacqueline tip, but I think Mia is suffering from main character syndrome this season. That's her problem. She is trying to figure out how she can be the main character. The problem with Mia is not a main character. Like, that's not her persona. She's messy, she's funny, she's a liar, she's all these things, but a main character, it's just not who she is. Like, nothing about her screams main character. Even when I disliked Giselle in previous season when she was misbehaving, she gives off main character. Karen gives off main character. They kind of have that energy about them, and it's something I don't think Mia has. Something about her is just not, it's not there. It's a little low class. And when you're thinking about Potomac and really someone who kind of fits into that, just their aura, Mia doesn't have that. She comes off as low class. Like the way she was trying to talk about Kay, and because her boyfriend was like a drug dealer and she's street and this and that, it's like, pot meat kettle, baby. Like you can't talk about someone like, I Kay doesn't come off like that, but I'm saying you can't talk about her when you low class yourself. Like it's weird. So I just thought it was weird. But then, anyways, Jizzy is talking about how she thinks Karen is just deflecting and this and that. And I'm like, I don't know if you can call it deflection. Like, I feel like if I have an open court case and what I say may incriminate me or something, I'm not talking. Like, y'all could be as mad as you want. You can call it deflection. I don't care. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing, 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 nothing. Like, I have no words, no comment. Like, yeah, at the time she's trying to deflect from her conversation to talk about something else, but I don't think it's weird. I think it's what anybody would do. And again, she continues to deflect and she asks Giselle about Jamal getting engaged. And, Giselle's like, oh, I don't care. He needs to be married. He's a pastor. I've been encouraging him to get married since because, pastors and I thought she say pastors and somebody else need to be married. And I'm just like, okay, all right. But she was like, I just feel bad for the girls because they kind of always knew that lady as a friend. And then all of a sudden she went from friend to fiance. And I'm just like, I feel like you're probably more bitter about it, but you're just not, that's not something you want to express because that's who Giselle is. She talks about other people deflecting, but she deflects in a way that she answers, but doesn't give her actual feeling, right? Like, I'm answering the question, but I'm not telling you how this actually makes me feel. Like if I'm angry or sad or upset, like I'm not going to do that. I deflect by acting like I don't care. I guess maybe deflection isn't the right word to use, but she like puts this air of like, "Oh, I don't care." But she do care, but she don't want to say it. Um then we see Wendy graduating her daughter and her son. Her daughter graduated from pre-K and the son from elementary school. And I just think it's so sweet. Her family is really just so sweet to me. It's good to see. I know a lot of people have a problem with Wendy, but I think, again, much like all the housewives, when you see them with their family, that's their element. Very sweet, very kind. And I like seeing her, especially her little daughter. Cam is so adorbs. Um, her mom is there with them. And, Wendy's talking about how she's going to have like a real birthday party for herself. And I know somebody was like, oh my God, enough with Wendy's birthday. But honestly, that trip was not her birthday. That trip happened to be in the middle of her birthday. And she gave up her birthday to go on that trip because it was part of the show. She was contractually obligated. But it's like, that was not. If I'm celebrating my 40th, we finna turn up for real on me, like something I want to do. So I think she's correct. I know, like I said, I've seen some people talking like, "Oh, her birthday is over," but no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm having a party, and we finna turn up, um, especially because it's 40. And she talks about how um her mom is there complaining like, oh, I didn't get my allowance this month or whatever. And so she sends her mom, I think, like $500. And I'm like, does her mom not work? I mean, she seems old. You know what? She does not look that old. Maybe that's my problem. I'm sure she's probably over 65 because if Wendy's 40 and Ivy is her older sister, then I want to assume that she's over 65, but she don't. I mean, despite whatever bleaching or whatever she did, she still doesn't look like an old lady that I would consider to be retired. She looks like, she cool. So she don't, I don't know, maybe, you know, I don't know. She said in Nigerian culture, you take care of your parents. Mhm. My mama was asleep for that part, so thankfully. Uh, But yeah, so she talks about how Wendy talks about how for the party, she invited Eddie's family and I guess his siblings are coming. I was a little confused on who in the end is actually coming, but someone from his family is coming and she's excited because it's a start. Um, and I can't wait to see that, like that interaction. Maybe they don't want to be on TV, but hopefully we get to see some type of interaction with them. We go to see Ashley. She's with her sons. Her kids are wild, like most kids. Her kids look like they daddy. Um, yeah. Anyway, they look like they daddy, and that is interesting because when people look like their dad, it's like not a big deal, but when your dad is 100 years old, that's not really because they look like him at his old age. They don't like kind of look like him. They look like him as he is, if that makes any sense. Um, yeah. Her mom comes over to talk with her, and her mom is like, you know, she's trying to talk to her mom about leaving her man and all this stuff because she's still with that bum from a couple of seasons ago. And it's kind of sad because I feel like the mom did she have a drug problem? Or am I putting somebody else's mama on her? I feel like her mama had a drug problem. Maybe she didn't have a drug problem. I'm just making that up. But yeah. Her mom has gone through a lot and I feel like Ashley got her to a place that she was okay. And I wouldn't like I know Ashley mentioned on Watch What Happens Live that she thinks that the show had an effect on her relationship, but I think her mom being with that bum and Ashley trying to get Michael to help her mom probably had more of an effect on that relationship than anything else because that was something that clearly bothered Michael having to take care of Ashley's mom. And it's like when it's just me and you and I'm helping out with your mom, that's one thing. But it's me and you, we have two kids, and then I'm also helping out with your mom. And helping out with your mom isn't the problem. But your mom now has a man who's a bum and you want me to help out, that's crazy. I can't do everything here, not with no bum, like no. And I think that's kind of not saying I like him, but I think that's probably what happened. Anyways, Jazzy, we see Jazzy, she's getting ready for her man's party at the Willard. Is that what she said, the Willard? Anyways, the place looks nice, it looks good. They had like a little they celebrated her man because he was on the Super Bowl winning NFL team or whatever. I didn't know her man was a three-time NFL championship. I was like, oh, Jazzy, your man is okay. You know what I'm saying? He's not bad. He can play. He is a decent player. And anyways, Giselle shows up, Ashley shows up, Mia shows up. It's weird. She shows up with Ink. He's like a midget. I don't know. Mia's pretty tall, but I'm pretty sure he's really short because I feel like Mia's probably just like 5'10 and Ink is like 5'5 or maybe 5'4 or something like that. But it's weird because he's like, oh, I'm Ink, incognito, but you on a reality TV show. Again, people who know you and will know you, and they will start to talk about your business. Again, Ink has not been a regular yet, but he trying to make himself a little regular right now. And I feel like that will come to hurt him, I think, for in terms of his incognito self or whatever. Um, it's funny because Kay and Greg show up and Jazzy was like, you know, a lot of these men is a little bit shorter than I expected. Jazzy, shut up. Your man got two kids. But I'm sorry. She was funny. She was funny when she said that because I don't know. I didn't notice that Greg wasn't that tall. But when I seen him standing next to her after they, because production is shady. When I seen him standing next to her when they cut back to it, I was like, hmm. I mean, luckily Kay was wearing heels, so he is taller than her, but he didn't look that much taller than Ink. But anyway, Jazz. One thing I like about Kay is she do not play, and I like that energy a lot. She walked in, she called Mia out immediately, and was like, "Calling my man a drug dealer. Mm-mm, I didn't like that." She goes, "I wasn't talking about this man. I said your ex man." She was like, "Da da 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 da," and she was like, "My man is a social worker." She's like, "And we can tell, girl, you trying to shade a social worker?" Like I'm confused. You needed one your whole life because your parents were freaking drug addicts and let you get burned and literally your life was in shambles. You should be praising a social worker. Mia, come on. See, that pissed me off real bad when I watched the episode. Like I was like, not somebody who lived her whole life with the use of social workers trying to shade a social worker. Baby, no, you had to get taken in by your best friend's parents because you had no responsible parents. And you want to shade the people that were there to support and help you? Yeah, that didn't sit right with me. I'm not a social worker, but that did not. I was like, girl, what? Ink is a radio host. He's nobody. He don't do no good for nobody. Like what? Like, ooh, that I'm serious. That actually really made me mad. Like, I was like, not I caught that shade, and Greg was not even in the beef. Like it was weird. Um, but Mia apologized to Kay because I think she realized Kay was standing on it, and also I think Giselle and them were kind of like, okay, 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 I think we're okay, whatever. TJ and Stacy show up, and the first people they run into is Wendy and Eddie. And Wendy's like, as soon as I met him, I knew that man was not sexually active. And it's funny because you can kind of feel the energy. Like it's so obvious. Like even I'm not even saying like, oh, okay, he's gay, he sleeps with men. No, he don't he really don't sleep with nobody. And it's obvious. It's very obvious. You know. And like, he's talking with Eddie, and Eddie's like, well, it's good. All good relationship starts with a good friendship. And he's like, yeah, because then it becomes sex. And then what? What happens next? And low key, TJ was onto something with that. Because a lot of people start with sex and it ends there too. Because they start sleeping with other people. Because that was all they had. They didn't have nothing. They just had sex. So he's kind of right in that regard, but the way he getting there, I don't agree with. Then Ash Ashley says Stacy needs to run, and honestly, Ashley knows a little thing or two about bad men, even though she loves them. So maybe she might be onto something. But then Jazzy's man shows up. He seems really sweet. Again, I know this is the persona, the quick persona that we get on the show in the 5 minutes, but he seems really sweet. Um, like he seemed like he really messed with her for real. Like again, now I don't know what he does when he's not on camera, but in the moment it was like it was cute. Um, when not Mia, I was gonna say Mia show up, but Karen shows up late, of course, and Mia immediately calls her out for what she said when she was with Giselle and Ashley. And so Giselle's like, no, 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 I need you guys to talk. I need you guys to talk. Like, we don't want to have this beef. And that's what I'm saying. That's a different energy from Giselle. In the past, that would not be Giselle's role to try to bring people together. She was not a bring people together type of person. I feel like Karen did that a lot in the past, but that was not Giselle's role. But, she tried. She tries to, get them to talk. And she was like, you were addicted and this and that. And Mia's like, I was not addicted. I overdosed. I guess maybe by mistake. I feel like the thing is Mia lies so much. So that's probably the story she tells. She probably was addicted. She probably did go to rehab. She probably, that's probably the truth, but the story she told sounds a lot better. Um And I think Karen was funny. She's like, "Well, when she goes low, I'm going lower." And I'm like, "You know, Karen, I live by that motto too. Don't go low with me. I'll see you in hell, baby. We will be in the pits, okay? I will be in the pits with you if you want to. Do not go low with me. I will see you there." You know, so and I kind of understand Karen on that. And that's just that, you know. I don't play about me. So it's just crazy. I think that Mia, again, is trying to suffer from main character syndrome. So she's doing things that she shouldn't do. Um, Karen meets her cousin for brunch the day after, you know, the party. And she kind of speaks to him about everything. We find out she was on the phone with him when things went bad for her when she crashed. And her cousin's crying. And it's crazy because o- outside of all this, like I know that Karen and that cousin are really, really close, and it's actually quite nice to see. I like seeing their interaction. That family interaction is kind of nice because I think that's the only time Karen is more authentic when she is with her family. I like those scenes. Again, everybody's good with their family, but I still she's I even with her daughter, I feel like she's not as authentic as she is when she's with other people from Surrey County. I think it's something about those Surrey County folks that get her to be a real, like a little bit more authentico. Um, but yeah. And she talks about how she feels like she has to be strong all the time. And I mean, that's just a black woman's burden, right? As a black woman, you have that burden of feeling like you always have to be strong, especially when you come out to public. You can't show people, let them know you sweat or that you're down or you're sad. And I get it. I'm not saying that's an excuse for anything, really, but I do get it because that is our life. You know, it's just what she's triple 30 or triple 20, right? You've done this 60 something years now. It is what it is. Um, Then Ink, we moved to Ink and Mia, and they're in the house, and Ink gives the kids popsicles, and they're all excited and screaming. I was like, Mia don't give those kids popsicles? Like, damn, why are they hugging him and all excited for? I mean, but they are kids. I'm talking, but they are kids. Kids get excited for things like that, so I'm gonna shut up. Um, Gordon comes over and he said he doesn't want to be, I guess he said he don't want to be on camera with them, Ink and Mia, and do any scenes with them. And you know what? I respect Gordon for that. Gordon is not playing with these people. These people are trying to play with Gordon, but Gordon is not playing with these people. He's over it. And he feels like they're trying to use him for a storyline. And they are. It's disgusting. And they're trying to have a conversation. Gordon brings up the fact that Mia had an affair with Ink when they first got married. She got pregnant. She had to get an abortion. I'm like, oh, Gordon is not playing with these people because you could tell by Mia's face and her reaction that Gordon was saying something that she was not prepared for. That was off the cuff. I mean, she let it go, but it was like she was not prepared for Gordon's reaction. And she keeps trying to talk about him and his mental health and trying to sneak these conversations and do all this stuff. And I'm like, Gordon, I think for somebody who is mentally unstable is acting better than you. Like he is behaving in a manner that is much better than you or Ink. Like y'all are trying to play right now in his face. And then Ink is like, the kids are in the other room and he's cussing and this because you guys set him up. You called this man over to have a conversation, to ambush him so he will talk to you by having the kids there. And that's what you got. And I know it's his kids and he should kind of behave better, but I don't blame him. I don't. You are wrong for that. And I think Mia is wrong for trying to exploit G and her situation. It's disgusting. And like I said, I've been saying all of this, you know, trying to blame his mental health, trying to do all this stuff. You were willing to let your two kids sit there and listen to your argument just so you can have a moment on camera with G. And you were hoping that he would say, okay, I don't want to do anything crazy in front of my kids or say anything crazy in front of my kids. So you could kind of have the upper hand. And he didn't let you have it. And honestly, I think I'm over this storyline. I don't want to see Ink no more. Like, just don't bring him back. G, if you're done with her, I don't want to see G anymore either. I think Mia should try to stand on her own, and she probably won't do too well because she's floundering when it comes to Karen. But it is just disgusting that she is willing to put her kids through this trauma so she can have a storyline. And that's I don't want to talk about Mia like that anymore. Like, you know, especially if it comes to like her kids being involved in such a situation. Like it's really disgusting to me. But tell me what you guys think. I don't know. I think it is. I'm excited to see where this season goes. Like I said, we've heard them talk about how Mia has the most to be accountable for. From what I'm seeing, I'm agreeing with that. What do you guys think? Are you ready for the next episode? Please like, comment, subscribe, share my video with your friends, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.